Tepat sekali, play. Fair!
They had last names that opened doors, but no game to keep them open. In the NBA, privilege can only go so far. Nepotism in the NBA has given some players and executives opportunities they never earned. While a few thrived, many failed spectacularly. From Zaire Wade's fizzled potential to Jim Buss's disastrous Lakers tenure, these stories reveal how privilege doesn't guarantee success. Here are the biggest NBA Nepo babies who couldn't live up to their family names.
Ooh, excuse me.
Zaire Wade had all the buzz you could ask for. As the son of Miami Heat legend Dwayne Wade, he was already in the spotlight before his teenage years. Viral mixtapes, Instagram followers in the millions, and a high school career at Sierra Canyon with Bronny James only amplified the hype. But when it came time to play with grown men, things unraveled fast. Injuries slowed him down, but more concerning was the lack of real NBA-ready skill. In the G League, Zaire averaged just 9.2 points on a brutal 26% shooting clip, stats that screamed raw and unpolished. Scouts weren't impressed, and the buzz started to fade. He eventually played in the African Basketball League, but went undrafted. While his father had that dog in him, defensive tenacity, elite athleticism, clutch gene, Zaire seemed unsure, inconsistent, and out of place. His story is the textbook example of hype without substance. Genetics might get you the spotlight, but in the NBA, the lights are brightest when you're exposed. Zaire Wade's journey shows that even when your dad's a Hall of Famer, you still have to prove you belong. Patrick Ewing Jr. carried a last name that meant basketball royalty, especially in New York. As the son of Knicks legend Patrick Ewing, expectations were massive. Like his father, he played at Georgetown and earned Big East Sixth Man of the Year. But his NBA journey fell short. Drafted in the second round in 2008, he played just 7 games. At 6'8", he was undersized, lacked elite athleticism, and didn't have the offensive or defensive tools to compensate. Though he worked hard and bounced around the D-League and overseas, the talent gap was too wide. Legacy alone wasn't enough.
Senior number 5, Marcus Jordan.
Jeff and Marcus Jordan carried the weight of their legendary last name, but neither lived up to the hype. Jeff walked on at Illinois, later transferring to UCF before quitting basketball to pursue business. Marcus showed more promise at UCF, averaging 15 points per game, but lacked NBA-level explosiveness and consistency. Off-court issues, including a DUI and a controversial relationship with Larsa Pippen, only hurt his reputation further. Despite being Michael Jordan's sons, neither made the NBA nor came close. Their story proves that greatness isn't inherited, it's earned, and both failed to match their name with the necessary dedication.
Thank you very much. You know, I look at these 4 gentlemen here, that represents almost 50 years of my life.
Dozens of reporters on hand for a last-minute press conference with managing partner Josh Harris there on your right and the head coach.
Bryan Colangelo, once seen as a front office prodigy like his father, Jerry Colangelo, started strong, building the 7 seconds or less Suns and making sharp draft picks in Toronto. But his career crashed in 2018 when he was linked to burner Twitter accounts that criticized players like Ben Simmons and leaked team info. Though he denied involvement, the evidence forced him to resign from the 76ers. Once poised for greatness, Colangelo became a cautionary tale, proof that arrogance can undo even the most promising legacy. Once respected, he's now blacklisted from the NBA, his career undone by scandal and poor judgment.
Think who can move, who can catch. There you go.
Chris Smith is the poster child for nepotism at its worst. He didn't just sneak into the NBA, he was dragged in by sheer favoritism. As the younger brother of J.R. Smith, Chris had an unimpressive college career at Louisville and wasn't even on most draft boards. But somehow the New York Knicks signed him. Why? Because they wanted to keep J.R. happy. It was that simple. Chris played a total of 2 NBA games, logging just 1 minute on the court. He wasn't a hidden gem or a raw talent. He was completely out of his depth. His presence on the roster drew heavy criticism and turned into an embarrassment for the Knicks. After being released, he disappeared into overseas leagues but never made any noise. He didn't earn a spot, he was handed one. Chris Smith's NBA stint wasn't just forgettable, it was a case study in why giving away roster spots for personal favors never ends well.
3 rebounds, 7 assists, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Thanasis and Kostas Antetokounmpo might share the same last name as Giannis, but they've never come close to sharing his impact. Giannis is a 2x MVP, NBA champion, and the face of a franchise. Thanasis? He's more famous for hyping his brother on the bench than anything he's done on the court. Sure, he brings energy and plays hard in garbage time, but his career averages are underwhelming, and he's barely cracked the rotation in Milwaukee. He was part of the Bucks' 2021 championship squad, but let's be honest, he didn't move the needle. Kostas, his story's even shorter. He played just 5 games for the Lakers in their 2020 title run and was largely a non-factor. If they weren't related to Giannis, it's hard to imagine either one getting an NBA contract, let alone multiple seasons. Teams saw them as part of the package to keep their superstar happy. It's a smart strategy from a business standpoint, but from a basketball perspective, their roles are more symbolic than substantial. They're living proof that being familiar with greatness doesn't mean you are great. Thanasis and Kostas are in the NBA thanks to bloodlines, not buckets.
Most of my discussions about the deals we did today were with Jim Buss, and our relationship has evolved to where I spend most of my time with Jim.
Jim Buss inherited one of the most successful franchises in NBA history and nearly ran it into the ground. As the son of Lakers owner Jerry Buss, Jim was handed control of basketball operations, a role he never earned and wasn't prepared for. His tenure was marked by head-scratching decisions, the most infamous being his choice to hire Mike D'Antoni over Phil Jackson, a move that alienated the fan base and frustrated key players. He also clung to Andrew Bynum far too long, ignoring trade opportunities that could have reshaped the franchise. Under Jim's leadership, the Lakers spiraled from championship contenders to bottom-tier rebuilders, missing the playoffs for years. Despite holding one of the most powerful roles in sports, his lack of vision and stubbornness crippled a dynasty. Eventually, his sister Jeannie Buss stepped in and ousted him from control, trying to repair the damage. Jim Buss is a textbook example of what happens when nepotism outweighs merit. He didn't just fail, he failed while holding one of the NBA's most privileged positions, leaving a historic franchise in ruins before being pushed aside.
Austin Rivers buries the step back.
Easily the most accomplished Nepo baby on this list. Austin Rivers did not, however, live up to the expectations. Austin started in the NBA with great expectations as the son of champion coach Doc Rivers. Coming out of high school, he was hailed as the next O.J. Mayo, a superior scorer and future all-star. Drafted 10th overall in 2012, though he played 11 seasons in the league, his career never really reached that next level. His peak was a commendable 15 points per game, and he developed into a strong defender and sporadic scoring option. He was not, however, a celebrity. Many critics cited his time playing under his father with the Clippers as a clear case of nepotism, arguing he was receiving extra minutes due to familial connections. Austin stuck around and added value, but given his ancestry and hype, it still feels disappointing. He is the best of the worst, someone who demonstrated he belonged but never developed to be what everyone anticipated.
Flip towards the rim.
Glenn Rice Jr. had the talent, the bloodline, and the athleticism to make it big. As the son of NBA All-Star Glenn Rice, expectations were high, and early signs were promising. He won the 2014 Summer League MVP, flashing serious scoring ability, but his real battle was off the court. His college career ended in disgrace after multiple incidents, including a DUI and being linked to a shooting. Despite brief stints with the Washington Wizards, his legal troubles continued. Assault and weapons charges followed. Eventually, even overseas teams backed off. Rice Jr. didn't lack skill. He destroyed his future through reckless behavior.
That's a great.
Keljin Blevins is a name most casual NBA fans wouldn't recognize. And that's exactly the point. As the cousin of Damian Lillard, Blevins somehow found himself on the Portland Trail Blazers roster despite a resume that wouldn't get most players through a G League tryout. He went undrafted out of Montana State, averaged underwhelming numbers, and lacked the explosiveness, shot-making, or defensive prowess scouts typically look for, yet he managed to appear in 17 NBA games, where he averaged just 4 points per game on a brutal 25% shooting. The only reason he was there? Dame vouched for him. It was one of the most obvious examples of pure favoritism in recent memory. Portland signed Blevins as a favor to their superstar, and when you're trying to keep a franchise player happy, those calls get made. But let's be honest, if Blevins didn't share DNA with Damian Lillard, he wouldn't have sniffed an NBA locker room. It wasn't about merit, it was about maintaining good vibes with the face of the franchise. Nepotism might get you in, but it won't keep you there. The NBA doesn't care about your last name, only your your game. If that breakdown hit the mark, like, share, and subscribe for more raw takes on basketball's biggest stories. And hit the bell so you never miss the next one.